Holy macaroni, are you seeing this? Bitcoin right now is backtesting already the $34.5 thousand level that has been crunched and munched on for 6 weeks. As the DXY is currently completing an absolute mega move to its highest level since the beginning of April. But most importantly, Bitcoin was rejected exactly at our resistance zone we discussed yesterday, and as well as attempting to hold the top of this descending channel structure. But the big question is, are Bitcoiners about to be left whining, whimpering, and soiling their trousers? Or will Bitcoin hold this key zone and initiate a money shot all over the chest of the bears? I'm your host, Mr. Magoo, and holy ravioli, is this a big day? But the big question we're all wondering, is this a very big day? Absolutely huge, guys. Very big stuff going on these Bitcoin charts right now. And yeah, it's muncher crunch time. If Bitcoin fails to do this, hold on to your cheeks because it's about to get extremely messy. And as well, what is going on with some of these other charts? Boy, oh boy, do tell. What are you guys new to the channel? Make sure to hit that like, subscribe. Absolutely time-sensitive alerts. And without any further Magoo, let's dump on in. Goodness gracious, jumping into this chart here, we have the DXY initiating a massive move to the upside, actually temporarily breaking what we set back about 12 days ago on June 18th, around 93.37-ish. And yeah, it was the highest the DXY has been since April of 2021, as it was absolutely plummeting below the 200-day, 21-day, and 50-day moving averages here on the DXY. But this is just a pretty big, let's actually, if we just take a zoom out here, okay, this kind of whole area right here has kind of been absolutely critical for the DXY going back to the summer of last year, back in July of 2020. So we initially had this as support, and then we flipped it here. But now the huge question is this going to end up being massive resistance right here? And we're going to get pushed back down, further weakening the dollar, and potentially as well further boosting the gainers of Bitcoin in the cryptocurrency space as the inverse correlation reigns true. This is just very big. I mean, going back in time, you can see this is a pretty big level. I mean, this goes all the way back to even 2015. We had so much support here. We had a little bit of bounce below that. But ultimately, yeah, this is just a huge range for the DXY. And the question is, are we going to be seeing a rejection here over the next few weeks? Which I personally think we will. But especially if we set a lower high, if we fail to break what we did, you know, all the way above almost 93.4 back in April. That kind of topped out April 1st. This will be very big. You know, say we come up a little bit more like this and then ultimately get rejection. Very bearish for the DXY, which ultimately I do think is going to be the case. And potentially very, very bullish for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So that's something we want to be watching all the time. For people that don't know what it is, just the US dollar currency index kind of compares the US dollar to like 6 other currencies and just kind of gives you the strength relative to other currencies that the US dollar has. And so if the US dollar is weaker, generally and historically, Bitcoin has benefited from that when the US dollar is weaker. And again, the US dollar is just funny money, monopoly, absolute dumpy garbage. So there's no real reason that should be going up. But as well, if we take a look here before we get into Bitcoin's price, we have the shorts continuing another day of dumpiness, which is good, and longs kind of just holding. I mean, a lot of people are long on Bitcoin, obviously. And as well, Ethereum's actually doing really well today also, which is awesome, okay? This is very good for the alt space. A lot of people are waiting for decoupling from alts, or alts from Bitcoin, decoupling from Bitcoin. And Ethereum is just one of the best things to be looking at. It's the #1 altcoin, just a very powerful coin, I believe. I'm personally very bullish on a lot of top cryptos, Bitcoin and Ethereum, obviously. But yeah, Bitcoin's not having as good of a day as Ethereum is up. I mean, on the day, we can just take a look here. It's up like, I don't know, like 5%, 6-7% on the day. Bitcoin is down. Bitcoin is down like 5%. And so far, it's actually bounced at our first level of support we talked about yesterday here. But as you can see on this horizontal level here, this horizontal box of support here, just very big. We have 3 of them, 3 massive ranges on the daily chart. We're below 2 of them, which is obviously not good. And we've been below them for, I mean, multiple weeks now. But this last one, it just ultimately has to hold. And as well, now we're below the 21 daily moving average again. So are we going to see something very similar to like what we saw back here on June 10th? When we briefly popped up above it, got pushed down, traded sideways for a few days, and then got a mega blast off, ultimately before mega dumpage confirmed. Again, this is just a big test. Breaking the 21-day is never easy, and that was like the point of yesterday's video. It's going to take some time, most likely, to concretely break above that. But as well, guys, we do have the 50-day moving average coming down pretty low at this point to kind of meet us. It's right around 37.5-ish, right in this area, and kind of is meeting us exactly at this next big level of horizontal now resistance, as we have this other horizontal support right here. Again, these three massive zones, very important to watch. But as well, like we just said, so far we've bounced exactly in the middle of this downward sloping or descending channel. Very good. Overall, nothing too bad. Again, we talked about this bullish divergence yesterday, going back like a month and a half. That's going to take some time to play out. That's a very big indication, I believe, of like a very strong power move, but it does not play out on like a 4 or 6 hour chart. It takes days and potentially even weeks for that to play out. It's just something to be watching in the meantime. And as well on this weekly chart, I mean, overall this week so far, not very much movement. However, again, we want to keep an eye on the MACD. Again, you see the momentum slowly shifting. We've had massive dumpiness over the last month and a half, and that massive dumpiness right here, combined with sideways trading and even slighter dumpiness, that is going to enable Bitcoin to get the juice and the coils loaded for a mega boost. Probably not. Obviously, over the next couple of days, it's going to take more time to keep building. But so far, we are seeing to see that kind of turn. And I think a lot of people will be very excited very shortly once we actually get a confirmation and we actually make a real move to the upside. Because we've had pretty much no significant bounces. The biggest move to the upside we've had, besides the rebound itself on May 19th going into like May 21st, was probably right here. About a 30% move to the upside from the lows, 31,000 all the way up to 41,000, and then straight back down. And again, we're kind of still in the middle of this second bounce. It's been even weaker though. So again, we're watching for that. But if we go to the 6 hour chart, this is very big. So guys, if we zoom in here, yesterday we talked about these 5 massive ranges. And I said there's a lot of resistance right here. I don't think Bitcoin's going to shoot right through it. And in fact, we basically topped out exactly in this channel. So far, that is exactly where we've gotten rejected, right at about 36.5-ish. And you can see, these have been on my charts for a couple of days now, and that's exactly where we got rejected here. We do have an interesting cross here. We got a bearish cross on the 6 hour back on the 20th, 10 days ago. And now actually we're about to initiate a bullish cross on the 6 hour. And in my experience, those can be rather powerful, right? We had some nice moves in the past, specifically on the 6 hour chart, just with these two moving averages. But we're going to be seeing that very soon. We could obviously even see Bitcoin come down a decent amount more, and this would still be bullish. But as well, you can see on the 6 hour chart, this is the top of this descending channel for the last month and a half. This white line right here that I'm tracing with the green line. So that's where we went up a little bit, and now we're back testing that exact area. Okay, and we tested it here. It was resistance all of these times here, and the only time that we broke above it was this little move right here. Okay, up, down, failed to hold support, and then all the way back to the bottom. So this so far has been a weaker move to the upside, but as long as we can hold here, we'll have another shot of trying to break this very, very critical resistance zone. Remember, guys, I've been saying 36 to 37,000 is probably the biggest resistance on these short-term time frames, period, right now. So yeah, it's not going to be easy. And if we switch to this chart, you can see got rejected right off this golden pocket of the fib extension, which is also kind of the point of control right here on this 4 hour chart. And yeah, you can just see there's so much going on in here, and it was pretty expected. We were not going to just blast through that in one foul swoop. It's going to take more time to keep blasting through that. And as well on this chart, guys, an even better illustration, I've been talking about this on the 1 hour chart. Again, this level, the $36,000 to $37,000 range, is what I think is the biggest resistance right now. Right at the point of control pretty much for this hourly chart for Bitcoin, and we came right into it and then immediately got rejected. Currently, we're holding on this fettuccine level right here. Break that, I think it's very likely we're going to the low 32,000s. So again, we could see another, let's just illustrate it like this. We have higher highs on this 1 hour chart, higher lows. We could still see Bitcoin come all the way down to 32,000, say maintain that, and then have another shot at getting another higher high like this, right? And then we'd be forming some sort of ascending channel like this. But that's basically what I think is pretty likely here. I do think it is very possible we come actually back down to 32,000, at which point people would probably be getting extremely bearish again. However, That would just be normal fluctuations within a potential recovery. But at this point, it's still too early to call it a recovery. As again, guys, I mean, my main point, this is huge resistance right here. And until we actually concretely break this and then flip it, back test it for support, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to be bullish in the short term until we do that. So let's say we get a move up here, come up to about 39, 40K, come back test 36.5 to 37, and then move up again. That can be bullish. But again, I mean, I just explained what that requires, and that's quite a bit of movement that we would need to do before we could get bullish about that in the short term. Well, so if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, turn on those ghost notifications so you never miss these absolutely time-sensitive alerts. Make sure to get your hardware wallets, your TA, your trading, all the bonuses in the description below. And yeah, everything looks very big. Big things are happening. But without any further ado, that's it for me.